Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another episode. Today I've got a question that I don't think I've really touched too much before on this platform, either YouTube or the podcast. So I really wanted to, when someone emailed me this question, I really wanted to bring this to you guys as soon as possible because I think there's a lot of people out there that may be in this predicament. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Before I do, I just want to let you guys know resume reviews are still going on. You can still get your resume reviewed. You can still do interview prep, or you can still get LinkedIn page reviews if you're interested in that. All you have to do is email me eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com and we can go from there. So this person writes in, they say, I am currently working as a project manager and have been heavily involved in PM work. That's project management work with our clinical group for close to a year now, about 9 months. My past experience includes a lot of laboratory work and quality experience, including supervisory roles. I have extensive experience reviewing data, training personnel, developing training programs, and organizing studies. Most of the studies I have organized previously have been for medical device validation studies rather than clinicals. I have been working as a contractor for a large medical device company for 3 years, and I'm looking to transition to a different company where I would ideally like to take on a CRA position. I was hoping to inquire about getting some help with my resume to highlight my experience that may not have been exactly clinically focused, but that could still translate to the necessary skill set needed to help me land the role I am looking for. I'm also looking for an opinion from someone in the industry on the best direction to head given my past experience and interests. I.e., would going from a clinical PM role to a CRA position be a huge step back career-wise, and is a senior position too much to shoot for, given I don't have much monitoring experience, even though I have audit, data review experience, and project management experience, which from what I've gathered through job postings are all pertinent skills for a senior CRA. I'm a very hands-on type of person and really have a passion for training and mentoring. I even find now that I'm often helping the junior CRAs at my company get over hurdles they run into. I was hoping you could provide me with information on how costly seeking out your help would be, and if you'd be able to help with not only resume review, but also answering career path questions. So I'm going to detail some of this in this response that I give to you guys. Obviously, I can't be as specific because each person's background and scenario is different. So obviously, me and this person are working behind the scenes on the resume review and some of the other things that she asked about in her question. But I still think there will be a lot to gain from this response for you guys. So the first things first is going from PM to CRA, which is very doable. I definitely hear from a lot more people that are interested in going from CRA to PM, because what you'll find as a CRA, if you're interested in climbing the ladder, that it's best to go from project manager, project director, and associate vice president, and on up the ladder that way. It's hard to go from CRA to CTL and up the ladder. Most of the time, they want you to go from CRA. They want you to go up the PM side if you're going to climb the ladder. So a lot of people just like being CRAs and they have no interest in climbing the ladder, or they want to get off the road. They'll either go to an in-house CRA position or to a CTL position. But as far as climbing the ladder goes, it's much easier to go up the PM side. And I think most CTLs end up having to go be PMs if they're interested in climbing the ladder. But this person wants to go from PM to CRA. Now, is that possible? Yes, that's very possible. Now, why is that possible? It's because the project manager is responsible for all of the different parts of the team reporting to her. So data management reports in, CRAs report in, CTLs report in, and a study startup is going to report into the PM. So they're familiar with a lot of the different aspects of the clinical study team and a lot of the heads of the different aspects of the clinical study team. Now I think her question of going from a PM direct to a senior CRA may not happen because having no background as a CRA, it's going to be tough for you, even though you've been a PM before, just because it's going to be different. Now, I don't think you'll be a CRA 1, not at all, but I think senior could be difficult because, it'll be your first time really. As a senior, you're really in charge of some of the junior CRAs and leading the team of CRAs. And without having any CRA experience, I think that could be tough, and that's something that I necessarily won't do. But I would definitely put you on the fast track to being a senior CRA because of your previous project manager experience. But I think you could definitely get in as a CRA somewhere for sure, if that's what you want to do, or at your current company, definitely. And you also talk about, would it be a step back career-wise? Well, I do think that good PMs should have CRA experience. So I definitely do like when CRAs go on to be PMs, because I think it's important to really understand what monitoring is, understanding the type of data you're actually collecting, and not just looking at it from a bird's eye view, but to really understand. And I do think it's great for your career to go from PM to CRA, just looking at it from a holistic point of view, because now you understand more about the clinical aspect of things, and your decisions later on when you're a project director or vice president, you'll be able to draw from that experience of being a CRA. But, unfortunately, you don't have that CRA experience, so I'm not sure you'd be able to come in directly as a senior CRA. It kind of depends on your project management experience, and it doesn't sound like you have a ton. You may have like a year or two. I think you said 9 months where you've been working with your clinical group, but you've been a contractor for 3 years. Now, I don't know if you were a contract PM for 3 years or what, but I do think the more PM experience you have, probably the more likely they're going to give you a higher CRA position. But all of that is negotiable. So you can negotiate for that senior CRA title, but get paid like a CRA too, if that title is really important to you. But it's really more so like a lateral move, I would say. Even though the PM is the boss, when it comes to salary wise, CRAs tend to make more, if not the same as PMs. It just depends, but CRAs definitely tend to make a lot more, and there's a lot more incentives to make more money as a CRA. They're always running bonus programs where if you get your reports in on time, you get a bonus. You always get a sign-on bonus as a CRA. You're making money in reverse by having your cell phone bill paid, your home internet bill paid, working from home constantly, not running up on your gas and depreciating your car. There's a lot of perks to being a CRA, not having to buy as many groceries because you're on the road a lot, that you just end up making a lot of money in reverse as a CRA that you don't get as a PM necessarily if you have to work in the office per se. So that's what I would say about that. Let's see. Yes, as far as translating your skills, I do think because you don't have a lot of clinical experience, that is something I should definitely be able to help you with. Translating your project management skills into more clinical skills. A lot of them will translate automatically, but I think a lot of it where I would be helpful is to narrate that story for you on why you want to go from PM to CRA, because most people do want to go from CRA to PM, because PM is how you really climb the ladder. And like I said before, it's definitely not a step back at all. I would not think about it. I think it's more like a lateral move. And in some ways, it may be a better move for you if you don't want to be in the office all the time in a cubicle, you want to be out in the real world. That's definitely something I would consider. Like you said, you do have a lot of data review experience and project management experience and other experience. I mean, not to mention that a lot of times at companies, if CRAs can't go out on site, it's the project manager who's backing them up. So a lot of times project managers do have CRA experience. So I think it's good that you want to do that. Another thing I would consider is, I don't know, maybe you just want to be a full-time CRA, is see if you can get some CRA action at your current role. Maybe they'll bring you down to like a 0.8, 0.7 FTE and put you on a study as a CRA so you can get some CRA experience that way. If you're just trying to really boost your resume and boost your ability to be a better project manager, I would look for that also. That could be something good to think about. Let's see what else. Handle type of person, helping out the junior CRAs, including supervisory roles. Yeah, so I think this is a great move for anyone. I've been a CRA for a number of years now, and I love it. I love the role. Don't really see myself going into project management, so I definitely like people that go into the CRA role. And I think you'll be very, very happy with it if you love to travel. You've got to love to travel. You've got to love it. So I think this is a good move, and it just goes to show people that, you know, there's all different ways of routes for your career, and you just got to choose what's best for you. It's not always going up, up, up all the time. Sometimes it's going sideways. Sometimes it's going backwards, and that's just your path. That's just your journey. So not everyone's journey is going to be the same. Let's see what else. I really don't want to miss anything in this question because this was quite a long email. I want to make sure that I touched on everything. So yeah, I think that's it. And like I said before, I think the real kicker here is that you don't necessarily have monitoring experience. Now, maybe if I looked at your resume, you might have some monitoring experience if you've been on site before. But you do have other experience talking with PIs, talking with study teams, things of that nature, site teams that would make you a great CRA. Once again, I don't think the thing here for you is, can you be a CRA? I think easily you'll get hired up as a CRA. But I do think that you wanting to be a senior CRA could be a little problematic at a number of places just because you don't have the monitoring experience. But I do think for sure you'll get hired as a CRA. No question about it. So if anyone's listening to this still and you're interested in getting your resume reviewed, email me, eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com, and we'll get you straight. So if that's it, take care, guys.